Hi, I'm Alia with Dance with Alia, and I'm here with a beautiful dancer who is mixing Balkan primarily and belly dance movement earlier today. Why don't you give us your name and tell us a little bit about your dance background?
Hi, I'm Jatila. Last name is Vanderveen, and I currently live in Santa Barbara, California. And my background is I started with ballet when I was a child, but I started with folk dance first when I was 8 years old. And I was in an ethnic dance company starting when I was 15. I started studying flamenco and Bharatanatyam when I was about 14. And I paid my way through college dancing in an ethnic ensemble. So I've danced since I was a kid. But I've come to belly dance more recently in 2000 when I was invited to join the faculty at UC Santa Barbara. That's when I met Alexandra King, and she invited me to be in her ensemble because I had a lot of folk background and classical background, and that's what she needed. But I had to learn belly dance to be in the troupe. So I learned, and I really enjoyed it. So now that's what I primarily do.
Awesome. So when you were 8 years old, did you already know, I'm a dancer, I need to take dance classes, or did your parents put you in classes?
I knew when I was 3 I wanted to dance, and I begged and begged my mother, but she was a classical violinist, so she made me start with piano. Finally, after 6th grade, I demanded ballet lessons. My parents couldn't afford both, so when I had gotten far enough in piano and my mother saw I was hopeless, she said, okay, now you can have ballet.
Wow. So did you was there music around and you always wanted to dance to the music, or did you see another family member, someone who was a dancer? How did you know?
I just always knew. And growing up in New York City, I grew up halfway between Lincoln Center and the Museum of Natural History. So I kind of developed an interest in both astronomy and dance. But once I saw ballet, I thought that's what I wanted to do. But I didn't grow tall and skinny, so I went into ethnic dance, which suits me just fine.
And have you traveled outside of the country to learn about dance?
Yes, I have traveled in India, and I had a scholarship there for 1 year where I studied in South India at 2 schools at Kalakshetra and Bharata Kalanjali with a VP and Shanta Tananjan. My teachers in California were KP and Catherine Kuniraman, and so I performed there and studied there. And then now recently in the last 7 years I've been traveling to the Balkans, to Bulgaria, Macedonia, and Turkey, and studying there, and I've performed there also, and I perform all around the country as well.
How did you learn about Bharatanatyam?
In New York, you learn about everything.
Okay.
And I was exposed to it. Luckily, in the building where I grew up, there were 2 dance teachers who taught at the High School of Performing Arts, Corolagoya and Mateo. And they had a company, and they taught Bharatanatyam and flamenco and other styles. So I started with them when I was 12, and just their general ethnic dance for kids. And then when I was 15, I got really into it, and they invited me to join their ensemble.
Yeah.
So it was just by chance. And I saw lots of dance growing up in New York.
And is Balkan music and dances and belly dance are more your focus right now?
Yes.
Tell me more about Balkan music. Why Balkan music?
I love it. I found Balkan music in the late 90s when I met the gentleman who's currently my husband. He invited me to a folk dance workshop with the Canadian folk dance teacher Yves Moreau, who's a Bulgarian specialist, and the music just intrigued me, and the rhythms are uneven, and I just fell in love with it, and I said I have to go there and study. And the culture, the stories, the history, the religious ceremonies that are so intertwined between the Orthodox Church and pagan rituals just fascinate me. And now I have a lot of friends there, and doing Balkan dance and belly dance is kind of like a niche. There are so many belly dancers, and this is something that not everybody does. So I guess I'm an individualist. I like to do something that's a bit different. So I perform with the band Aide now. They're a traditional Macedonian wedding band.
Can you say that again?
Aide. It means let's go. Like, come on, let's go. And we perform together. So what I do with them is a fusion of Roma style that I've learned from Bulgarian and Turkish Roma people, and some traditional belly dance, and then modern dance, because the Roma people, they would never do splits. That's rude. So because I can, I do splits and back bends and all that. That's completely American. That is not traditional. So that's why it's a fusion.
And you've been able to make your living and your travels by dance?
No, I made a living as a dancer many years ago, but it's not enough, and it wasn't enough to raise a family. So what I do for a living is I teach physics. So
wow.
I have a degree in that, and it's been fine because I haven't starved, and I've had enough to raise a child, you know, in a good home with good benefits and everything. Whereas dancers often have starving children and they become neurotic, so I didn't want that. So it's been good. And it allows me to give scholarships to students because I don't rely on dance for my income and do free performances and festivals and just enjoy it.
Right. Be able to do it for your passion and your love instead of trying to make sure your kids can eat. Yeah. Where do you teach at?
At the moment, I teach physics at UC Santa Barbara in the College of Creative Studies. And I'm not at the moment teaching dance classes, but I'm planning to start again. I started my own ensemble called Jamala, which means a big party or drunken celebration.
In what language?
It's a Turkish Macedonian dialect, and the name was given to me for my ensemble by Maestro Goran Alački of Skopje, Macedonia. He's the leading accordionist, people's artist in Macedonia.
Nice.
And so I'm going to start that up again in April, and I'll advertise classes on my website, which is jatiladance.com.
And please spell it.
Jatila is Jatila, so all one word, jatiladance.com.
Thank you so much. I know you're on your way out, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.